Hello dear students, welcome to 10th standard social science history unit 8 era of Gandhi and national movement, third unit. Identify the great personality. Will you guess who was this commander in chief of the Indian National Army, that is the INA? Can you guess? Yes, dear students, you are exactly right. He is none other than Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose. Can you identify this great personality in the picture who was rightly called as the Iron Man of India? Yes, dear students, you are exactly right. He is Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. Name the first Law Minister of India in the picture. Will you name him? Yes, dear students. He is Dr. Baba Saheb Ambedkar. In the early units, you learnt about life of Gandhiji, Gandhiji's beginning struggles in India, achievements of Gandhiji's inner life, Jallianwala Bagh massacre and Khilafat movement, non-cooperation movement, civil disobedience movement, Quit India movement. In this part, we are going to discuss about Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose and his INA, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar and his reformations, especially for the untouchables and in the field of Indian Constitution. Jai Prakash Narayan, Muhammad Ali Jinnah, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, and last but not the least, the partition of India. So, these are the things that we are going to discuss in today's class. Yes, dear students, let us start our class with the discussion of the legendary leader Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose. Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose was from Cuttack of Odisha. The role of Subhash Chandra Bose is a decisive step in the Indian national freedom struggle. Though he had secured 4th rank in the Indian Civil Services exam, he refused the posting and became a part of the national freedom struggle. He was popularly called as Netaji. Dear students, one thing we need to keep it in our mind. If we place ourselves in the place of Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose, we would have been the happiest person on the earth to accept the posting of ICS officer, but he ignored it for the sake of Indian freedom movement. This is why he is popularly known as Netaji. He engaged himself in organizing the Indians residing outside India as a counter to Gandhiji's soft protests. He toured many cities like Vienna, Berlin, Rome, Istanbul and various other cities, rallied the Indians settled in these places in favor of freedom struggle, especially those who were arrested as a war prisoners during the world wars. He got them released and got them converted into Indian National Army soldiers. During the Second World War, the Indians whosoever participated on behalf of England, the same soldiers and officers of the British who were basically from India, who were kept in the jails of Germany and various other countries, they were converted as Indian freedom fighters by Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose. Subhash Chandra Bose became the president of Haripur Convention of Indian National Congress with the support of Gandhiji. A difference of opinion broke between Subhash Chandra Bose and Gandhiji. Gandhiji's soft approach towards the British war policy clashed with the Bose hardline approach for the same. Mahatma Gandhiji believed in the principles of ahimsa and satyagraha, but Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose believed in blood and iron policy. That both the great national leaders differed in their ideologies or the views. Subhash Chandra Bose quit Congress and founded his own party called as Forward Bloc Party. He opposed the British war preparation and also the participation of British India in the war. As a result, the British government arrested Subhash Chandra Bose and put him under house arrest. This was a new turn in the life of Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose. Being at the house arrest, he planned how should be the future freedom struggle and how India could be freed from the clutches of the British. And he went ahead with his own master plan in getting the freedom for India. With the aim of mobilizing the anti-British forces to fight against the British, Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose escaped from the house arrest. And with the aim of mobilizing the anti-British forces to fight against the British, Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose escaped from the house arrest and reached Germany. The dictator of Germany agreed to extend all the help to Bose. Bose organized the prisoners of the war from India against the British. This is something very different and very unique in the Indian freedom struggle. He broadcasted his speeches over Azad Hind radio to Indians. Whatever the communication, whatever the messages he wanted to give to the Indians, he used to give through Azad Hind radio. On learning about the success of Japan in the World War, Bose joined hands with Ras Bihari Bose to explore the possibility of seeking the help of Japan to liberate India. In the initial, dear students, Japan was at the peak of success when Second World War was going on in the initial stage. Ras Bihari Bose had founded India Independence League in Tokyo of Japan. Ras Bihari Bose was aged and he was looking for a right leader to lead Indian Independent League. At the meantime, he found Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose and handed over all the power, leadership of India Independence League to Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose and requested Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose to lead India Independence League towards the path of Indian freedom. He called it as Indian National Army. As soon as Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose took the position of Commander-in-Chief of Indian National Army, earlier known as Indian Independence League, he renamed it as Indian National Army. Bose gave the call, Delhi Chalo or Chalo Delhi. He said the most promising and motivating, give me your blood, I will get you Indian freedom. That is, give me your blood, I will get you your freedom. So, this was the level or the height of motivation, energy of Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose. Captain Lakshmi Sehgal became the commander of Jhansi Regiment. Recently, we have gone ahead with having separate units for women in the Indian Defence Forces, but Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose knew it long back. Thus, he had a separate unit for the women who was led by, or the women regiment was led by Captain Lakshmi Sehgal. When there was a fierce battle between Indian National Army and the British Army, Subhash Chandra Bose died in an aeroplane crash. Thus, India lost one of its great leader. Let's know more about the father of Indian Constitution, that is Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. He had believed strongly that political freedom without social freedom is meaningless. Keeping untouchables in mind or the backward class people in mind. Unless the last man in the fold of hierarchical social system of Indian society gets social and economic freedom, political freedom has no meaning. That was how Dr. B.R. Ambedkar defined India's freedom. In order to prove that the untouchables have been denied even basic human rights, he organized Mahad Tank and Kalaram temple movements. There was a reason behind this tank movement in Mahad, that during the early period untouchables were not allowed to fetch the water from the tanks or public wells, and even untouchables were not allowed to get into the temples. So, these were the things that touched Dr. B.R. Ambedkar and made him to be very strong leader and stand by the rights of the untouchables. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar was a Diwan to Baroda Maharaj. The Diwan of that time can be compared to the post of minister at the present moment. He was a member of Bombay Legislative Council and later was also a member of Viceroy's Legislative Council. Dr. Ambedkar never joined the Indian National Congress and he founded his own organization called as Bahishkruta Hitakarani Sabha, later Swatantra Karmika Party. These were the organizations that were started by Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. He published the periodicals like Prabuddha Bharata, Janata, Mookanayaka, Bahishkruta Bharata. He always strived to get the justice for the farm laborers too. This was the mindset of or the vision of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. He wanted to reach the large mass of India through his periodicals. You can have a view of the periodicals that were published by Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. Here you can see Prabuddha Bharata, Janata, Mookanayaka and Bahishkruta Bharata. So, these were the periodicals that were run by Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, where he used to share his ideologies, philosophies and vision through his writings. Dr. Babu Rajendra Prasad was elected as the president of the great task of the Constituent Assembly, who was given the great responsibility of writing the constitution for a big and very highly influenced democratic nation like India. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar was elected as the chairman of the drafting committee, who was given the task of correcting, editing each and every act or the particular bill that has been discussed by the Constituent Assembly under different units. He advocated equality in the constitution and provided legal guarantees against the untouchability in the constitution. He was a leader of great order who spoke on behalf of untouchables, and he worked untirelessly to get the justice for untouchables. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar became the first law minister of independent India. For the lifetime achievement, he was awarded the highest civilian honor of India, that is the Bharata Ratna, but he was given posthumously, that is after his death. So, this was the honor given to Dr. B.R. Ambedkar by the government of India. Let us know more about another great leader, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru entered national freedom struggle through Home Rule movement. He played a prominent role in the non-cooperation movement, which was held during 1920. Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru was a leader who had great vision for the development of India, and in achieving India's independence, he played a key role. He became the president of Lahore session of Indian National Congress, which had the goal of Purna Swaraj, and for the first time he declared that India wants complete freedom. That was held on 26 January 1930. Nehru and Subhash Chandra Bose founded a Socialist Congress Party in 1934. As he was highly influenced by the communist ideologies, he believed in socialism and getting social aspects, that is socialism aspects, equality for every individual in the nation very clearly to each and every one. As the Prime Minister of India, he can be seen as the architect of industrialization and modern India. He also laid foundation for the diverse culture of India by implementing language-based reorganization of the state's policy. Jawaharlal Nehru had great vision for India. Especially, he believed in the principle of modernity and industrialization. Unless and until industrialization is achieved, India cannot be seen as a developed nation. He realized it much earlier and much ahead of the time. Thus, he gave lot of importance to industrialization, and also he gave more importance for the establishment of production units in India itself. Jawaharlal Nehru became instrumental in the integration of India, which was achieved through the Home Minister of his cabinet, Vallabhbhai Patel, who was rightly known as the Iron Man of India, who was successful in bringing all the princely states of India together. Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel played very prominent role in getting India as a single unit, which was divided into more than 562 princely states or 562 units. He was rightly called as Sardar or Iron Man of India. He sought to develop India through 5-year plans. Jawaharlal Nehru made a deep study of 5-year plans that were introduced in Russia, that is the USSR of that time. As USSR has made tremendous progress through 5-year plans, he implemented it in India too, so that India could achieve great heights in terms of development. With the aim of mastering atomic energy, he laid the foundation for that under the leadership of Homi Jahangir Baba. Today we speak about nuclear energy. It was Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru who realized the importance of atomic energy long back, and he chose Dr. Homi Jahangir Baba as the pioneer, as the leader of atomic energy utilization and exploration at that time itself. On the external affairs front, India wanted to stay away from both the powerful blocs of Cold War period and advocated non-alignment movement. It was Jawaharlal Nehru who neither joined Russian-led communist bloc nor American-led capitalistic bloc. He had his own stand, and he was successful in convincing third world nations like Africa, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka and various other nations, and he gave a new leadership to non-aligned nations. Non-aligned nations were the nations which neither joined left communist wings or right capitalistic wings. He was instrumental in staying away from power politics by adhering to Panchashila principles. This was a very new and unique thing that has been witnessed in the history. Panchashila principles are taken as a key concepts of Indian foreign policy even today, dear students. Let's know about another great leader who ended with some sort of difference of opinion and also creation of a separate nation called Pakistan, that is Muhammad Ali Jinnah. Muhammad Ali Jinnah joined Indian National Congress in the year 1906, and he worked as the private secretary to Dadabhai Nauroji. He joined Home Rule League in many of the conferences. He argued Hindu-Muslim unity earlier. He was a man of great knowledge in the field of law. Later, he started taking up the cases of freedom fighters, and he played very prominent role in getting the freedom fighters released from the clutches of British arrest. Thus, he was regarded as the lawyer of high order. Jinnah changed his strategies when the Muslim League and Congress failed to form coalition government in the year 1937. Thus, somewhere in the corner of his mind, Jinnah developed a thought that Muslims in India may be treated as the second grade citizens. Somehow, this thought of his made to have a separate nation for Muslims. When the freedom declaration was nearer, he increased his pressure for the creation of independent Pakistan, and he was successful in it. All along the national freedom struggle, the Indian National Congress had the vision of free, independent, united India. In the Lahore session of Muslim League in 1940, Jinnah declared that Hindus and Muslims cannot make one nation. So, he wanted a separate nation for Muslims, which was later created as Pakistan. You can see it in the picture, dear students. This is East Pakistan, known as presently Bangladesh. Earlier, it was a part of Pakistan, and northwest you can see over there, that is the particular Pakistan. In the picture, you can very clearly see whatever it has been marked by Radcliffe line in the red line, that is Pakistan and East Pakistan were created as a part of Pakistan. Later, in 1971, East Pakistan fought against the West Pakistan to get itself as a new nation called as Bangladesh. The partition of India, which was one of the painful event in the Indian history. The Labour Party came to power in England after the end of Second World War. It tried to find solutions for the political problems of India. Thus, it sent a cabinet committee to have discussion on giving self-rule rights to India. The partition of India, the Muslim League called for Direct Action Day on August 16, 1946. As a result, communal clashes took place in various parts of the country. Muslim League did not participate in Constituent Assembly. The British were also interested in creating division between Hindus and Muslims, so that these people may depend for further any of the trade, commerce, politics, any of the things on England. And British somewhere in the corner of their mind had a feeling that Indians may not be successful in having a self-rule. They may come back to the British to continue to rule. They wanted India to be divided as India and Pakistan. Meanwhile, the British government sent Lord Mountbatten as a viceroy to India, telling that it wanted to hasten the process of handing over the power. In 1946, Mountbatten held discussions with Gandhiji, Jinnah and other leaders to prepare a plan for the partition of India. All the talks that were organized to unite India and give freedom to India as one nation failed. Finally, India was supposed to be divided and given the independence as two separate nations. You can see in the picture Lord Mountbatten and Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. In July 1947, the Bill of India Independence took the shape of an act. On August 15, 1947, two new nations, India and Pakistan, were created. This gave a new turn and end to the Indian freedom struggle. You can see in the picture the Radcliffe line, that is the commission or the committee of Radcliffe that divided India and Pakistan. Radcliffe-Brown Commission marked the boundaries between two nations. Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru took oath as the first Prime Minister of India. Thus, a new chapter begin in the history of India. On January 30th, 1948, Mahatma Gandhi ji, who was the harbinger of peace between Hindu and Muslims, was shot dead by Nathuram Godse. A great legendary personality was put to death. It did not allow the Indians to enjoy the fruits of early celebrations of Indian freedom struggle. Though Gandhiji was killed physically, the ideals propagated by him like equality, social justice, human reflections and desire for human unity have been remembered. Even today, the ideals of the entire humanity are carried forward in terms of the ideals of Indian Constitution, and the life and message of Gandhiji are put into the rules, regulations and all the policies of Indian government. Home assignment, dear students, page number 26 of your textbook carries these questions. Do answer in a notebook. Choose the appropriate answer. The president of Haripur Congress session was option A, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, option B, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, option C, Lala Lajpat Rai, option D, Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose. Find out the right and appropriate answer, dear students. Dash is known as the Iron Man of India. Option A, Bhagat Singh, option B, Chandrasekhar Azad, option C, Abdul Kalam Azad, option D, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. Find out the appropriate answer, dear students. Home assignment. Answer the following questions. Explain the achievements of Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose in independence movement. Second question. Explain the various tribal revolts in the history of Indian independence struggle. Third question. Explain the major achievements of Nehru as the Prime Minister of India. Let's quickly recall, dear students, what all we have studied in our class. In today's class, we studied about Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose and his INA, his contribution towards India's freedom struggle. We even studied Dr. B.R. Ambedkar and his reformations, especially for the backward classes in India. We even discussed about Jai Prakash Narayan and his socialism ideology. We studied about Muhammad Ali Jinnah and creation of separate Pakistan. We studied about Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru as a architect of modern India. We even studied about the partition of India and the end of Gandhiji. Dear students, in our class we studied all these things, and here we come to an end of this chapter. Here we come to an end of this chapter. Let's have a quick recall of all the things what we have discussed in all the units. We discussed about Mahatma Gandhiji, his early struggle, various movements like farmers movements, workers movement, tribal revolt. Dear students, I hope you have understood each and every concept of this chapter very precisely. I expect you, dear children, to study each and every concept thoroughly. Wishing you all the success. This is Sharan Basappa, HOD, Social Science Department, Kamil High School, Judges Colony, Bashweshwar Nagar, Bengaluru 79, Bengaluru North 1. Thank you. Wish you all the best.